Whew. Good morning. Oh my goodness gracious. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. As long as IG is working, the stream is usually a little better. All right. I just needed like a few hefty sips of my coffee before saying words. It's been a weekend. All right. Who we have here? Good morning, Lisa. Hi, Allie. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Rose. Good morning, Millennial Bruja. Oh my goodness. Hi, Cassie. Hi, Jen. Hi, Lauren. Good morning, Zoe. Hi, Krista. Hi, Jen. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Jackie. Hey, Sarah and Nara and Rachel and Brittany and Claudia. Good morning, everybody. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Good morning, Jennifer and Danny and Valerie. And good morning to everybody joining on TikTok. All right. I feel like I'm whispering. I don't know why. Like I don't want to wake somebody up. That's strange. Okay. Let's do some smudgies. First of all, how's everybody feeling? How you doing? Hi, Lisa. Some smudgies for you, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. There you go. Hey, Janelle. Porch therapy sounds amazing. Good morning, Matt. So, this weekend was interesting for me because I was feeling the collective, but simultaneously, I was at a soccer tournament all weekend, like from like 7 a.m. until 6 p.m., both Saturday and Sunday. So I was kind of in like a weird other dimension, so to speak, but I was still feeling the collective. And so this morning I am exhausted. Like every inch of my body feels like it's been like pounded with a meat tenderizer. That's how I feel this morning. And I think that some of you guys are feeling similarly, even if you did not attend a soccer tournament. They won, by the way. So that was good. Um, but we had some really big shifts happen this weekend. The 1010 portal, we're going to talk about that first this morning because whew, that is not a joke. So yesterday was the 10th, and that is the 1010 portal. Okay. And Saturn stationed direct yesterday during that 1010 portal. Saturn went retrograde back in May. Okay. So I'm like trying to even collect my understanding of when May was. Like, it feels like really difficult to do it, but May, springtime, before the summertime, that's when Saturn stationed retrograde. And Saturn is the planet of rules. This is the planet that, we've been talking about containers. Saturn is the planet of containers and creating the molds and creating the ways in which we function and the way that we live our lives and structures and support systems and all of that. It's ruled by Capricorn. So this is Capricorn energy, which is not flexible energy at all. And it's a very, I know what I'm doing type of energy. So when Saturn shifts and changes, it's not a subtle change. It's a really intense one. And the one we're experiencing right now is that. So a lot of what you're feeling is collective shifts in consciousness around the rules and structures that we are living in. And then the rest of us, are, I mean, the rest of it, not us, the rest of it is how your life is shifting and how your containers are changing and how your rules are moving into a different energy now. That's exhausting because everything is right now. But good news, there's a shift coming for that as well. But there's nothing for you to do right now, and that kind of is annoying as well for a lot of us. But it's understanding what's happening. That's what you have to do because you've already put all of this into motion for yourself. You've been exploring your different containers. You've been saying, this doesn't work for me, and this does work for you. Um, you may have had a lot of ex people showing up in your dreams, showing up in your waking life as well, maybe reaching out to you. That is obviously a combination of Mercury retrograde and like every other retrograde happening right now, but it's happening because you have really reshuffled everything and it hasn't clicked into place quite yet, but it certainly will. So be careful with the exes. They're not here necessarily to tell you that you need to reconnect with them, but there are threads that are asking to have a knot tied at the end. Does that make sense? We have a bunch of threads right now that are just waiting for us to kind of just go over there and tie a little knot at the bottom so they don't unravel further and they don't cause any more issues. So find your threads to this week. What are your threads? Just and knot them out. Knot them out. If you need to remind yourself of why you're doing that, then do so, right? Again, there's no judgment about reaching out to exes. Like I feel like we have a language around people we've been really intimate with that's a little bit I don't not I don't know, it just has a mean spirit to it, right? Like, how dare they even exist anymore? But that's not what we're doing. This is more what's best for you. And if you made a choice to not have this person in such a front row seat in your life anymore, what's the reason? What's the reason that you have that, right? Like, think about the reasons and honor that for yourself and tie off the knots. So if you're just joining, my main point for this 3-minute ramble is that there are loose threads dangling around that can manifest in the form of exes reaching out. And when I say exes, I don't even just mean like ex girlfriends, boyfriends, or whatever. It can also be ex situations, ex friends, things that you've moved away from already coming up again. So find your loose threads and then just tie a little knot so they can be done. Okay. Because a lot of the things that are happening right now they're like death card things. And death card things are things that we're not going to take that energy and move it into something else. We're done. It's like hard stop, full stop. It's like full stop and shift into a different path altogether. And you can't do that if you're still carrying the old threads with you. So use this day to kind of sweep it up, tidy it, tidy it up. I know in my dreams last night I had old college friends coming through that I had like unresolved things with, and just really interesting the conversations that I had in dream time because they're ones that I didn't have in my waking life with these people, but we're resolving it in dream time. So don't underestimate the power of that. Okay. Um, but listen, listen. Today, which is the 11th, tomorrow, the 12th, Wednesday, the 13th, this whole week, actually. Hold on, I'm just feeling into this for you guys. Okay, so what they're showing me for this week is literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and like half of Friday. This is the week to notice what has been reshuffled and what has changed. There was a big shift around, there was a 10 p.m. shift last night. And then there were a couple this weekend, and I can't pinpoint the times right now because I was, like I said, in soccer land. But what changed for you this weekend? What did you realize this weekend? What did you realize? And really take some time this week to sit with that, to sit with it. For those of you who are BFFs in Inner Sanctum, it would not be a bad idea to jump back into the moon call that we did last Thursday and do that guided meditation again with the doors and really do that again. Really do that again. Or go back to your exercise with the doors and really flesh out that scene. This is time to really get into that fresh new energy coming through and to really sweep out the old, sweep out the old, sweep out the old. You're being prepared for it. If your body's tired, don't worry. It's normal. When your body is so exhausted like this, you can really feel that energy shift is happening because our bodies are like, oh my God, I can't even handle it. If you have the ability to get some energy work this week with somebody that you trust, that would be amazing. A massage would be amazing. And if that's not available to you, do some slow moving yoga, do some stretches. Like even just gentle stretches with breathing through the movements will help you so much to get this energy moving through your body. Okay. All right. So that's what's happening this week because here's what's going to happen. That's all right, Lisa. Here's what's going to happen at the end of the week. The 17th is when Jupiter goes direct, and then that is quickly followed by Mercury going direct. Now, again, I told you guys last time we talked, which is Friday, and I'll tell you this every time. Planets are not light switches. So just because they go direct doesn't mean it's like, whoop, now we're direct. They're stationing, right? Everything's always moving. So Jupiter's stationing direct at on 1017 is going to basically release the hounds, so to speak. How fast the hounds move is up to them. Sometimes they race out, sometimes they're going to mosey on out, right? But then Mercury is going to follow right after and go direct. This is kind of huge, you guys. This first chunk of October, we're having 4 planets go direct, and only one of which hasn't been retrograde for quite a while. So everything that we've been feeling and understanding in the past like 6 months or so, here we go. It's about to shift big time. We're going to feel really, really good about this. So just if you're tired and you're feeling exhausted and just like kind of battered, just stick with it. There's nothing you need to change right now, but there are things you need to sweep out, sweep out, sweep out. Um, I've told you guys to check and see where your Jupiter placements are. Jupiter is the good luck planet. Jupiter is benevolence, it's expansiveness, it's abundance. It's like it's ruled by Sagittarius. So it's like aim for the stars and like here we go. And when Jupiter is in retrograde, that really slows down our magic flow, right? Of course it does, but it's on purpose. Whenever we have a slowdown like that, anytime anything goes retrograde or slows down, right? This is our opportunity to really understand what we are doing and to make any necessary changes before that big energy comes back and we're off to the races again. So just sink into yourself this week. Sweep out the old. Okay? I keep like saying that because that's what I keep seeing. Just let the stuff go and tie off the loose ends so that you can have that and just get ready because it's going to move fast. Take your slow times this week because it's not going to be slow anymore. So, not that it really felt so, but just you know what I'm saying. Um, we're gonna pop into a few different things now. I have I've got a Kali card to read for you guys. I can't decide if I want to do that before or after the card pulls. Do you guys want to do the big collective card pull now or after the sensory card pulls? What's your choice? I'll let you guys decide. Because on deck we've got a big collective card pull, and then I've got sensory card pulls where you pick one of three things, and you know all the stuff. Okay, so we got even Stevens over here. Oh, now we got three nows. Okay, nope, still even. Okay, after now. Okay. It looks like we're now, from what I'm seeing. I'm in a really interesting energy this morning, Lisa. Um, so I'm feeling a lot of things. Decisive about which card to pull, not so much, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. We're going to do the big collective card first from Kali, and then we will jump into the sensory card pulls. Okay? I feel you, Kate. I have a feeling this card will wake me up a little bit. But also, let me just take a few more sips of my coffee. As I'm shuffling, a reminder that Coffee and Magic Live on Halloween is happening on October 31st in York, Pennsylvania at House of Yoga. So if you want to do this with me live and probably get a very much more focused reading for yourself, depending on what we do, come join me. You can find the link in my profile or send me a DM, but I'll be at House of Yoga, 6 p.m. on October 31st for Coffee Magic Live, Samhain edition. It should be fun. Feels like a million years from now, but meh, is what it is. Okay. I'll think about that in a second. I can't think about what I'm doing for card pulls yet. I'm tapped into this now. I'm bummed you're going to miss it too, Lisa. All right. No, you don't need to send gifts to get a reading. After I do this collective card pull, I'm going to be doing something called sensory card pulls, which is when you choose from one of three things, and then I do three semi-collective pulls for you guys, so you can get a little bit more specific guidance. If you'd like to book an actual reading, you can check on my bio and see what's available. I usually open them up by the week. I'm not opening up any readings for this week, but I probably will for next. And just as a note, because we're in this week now, I will not be here on Friday for Coffee and Magic, which which sucks, but it's also good. I'm going on vacation, so it'll be good, but it'll be weird. I don't feel quite right when I don't have my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday time with you guys. Isn't that weird? But yeah. All right. I think we're shuffled. Let's see what Kali has to say. I'm going to Herkimer, New York. All right. This is the card. Oh. Are all the cards like this in this deck? I mean, I guess it's the Kali deck, so. Never. All right, so um, it's like, mm, okay. So anyway, it's number 20 from the Kali deck. It's Ch- Chinamasta. Um, it looks a little intense, but like I said, I'm maybe maybe all the cards in this deck are intense, so it's new to me. But um, there's that lady doesn't have a head connected to her neck. So let's see what this says. Jesus. Oh, oh, okay, okay, all right. Snuggle in, friends. Sacred severance is her radical grace. She is our soul's power to shed and to survive, to outgrow and evolve. When the soul needs to separate itself from that on which it once relied, be it a view of ourselves or the world, or a group or belief system that cannot support the truths of the heart, she is the capacity, sovereignty, and courage required for self liberation. Systems of oppression within your mind and your world will be overcome. You have the power to sever your attachment to the past and focus on inner regeneration and reorientation, healing into a path that is worthy of your heart. Okay, so, all right. Can we just like pause? I haven't even read the whole thing. I just read the italics. Um, Saturn, this is Saturn. This is Saturn. And I just also realized why I feel this way today a little bit. Today is a holiday in our country, in the states right now. It's Columbus Day, and it's simultaneously Indigenous Peoples Day, and it it feels in my body really bad. It feels like it's so outdated and misinformed, and in the spirit of just all of the worst parts of the way that we have built this country, to celebrate Columbus Day, and then like throw in Indigenous People Day as well. Um, it's not feeling good. And I think that we're at a point now where, maybe we felt that Columbus Day was kind of shitty for a long time, but we're just like, whatever, like it's just a holiday, it's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine because it's a collective remembrance of something that is first of all founded on inaccuracies and then founded on genocide. Is that how we want to do things? Is that how we want to move forward? Saturn is the planet of rules and structures and forming the way that we do societies. Is this how we want to do it? Mm. It's one of those things now where years ago, if my kids had like asked me a question about Columbus Day, I might have actually spouted that story because it's just what they learn in school. Now, absolutely not, because it's some real bullshit. So just kind of feeling that collective swirl is a real downer. It's a real downer. Okay. And I think it's important for us to feel what a downer that is collectively, because it shows us where our country's at right now, to be so disrespectful as to not just get rid of Columbus Day and to tack on Indigenous Peoples Day right on top of it. Like, ouch in all the ways. So let's see what else Kali has to say. But I'm feeling that very much. It feels gross. It feels real gross. So throwing some love into that area because it's not good. All right. Are you ready? I have a feeling this is going to be rather intense. And well, it should be. Okay. The fifth of the Mahavidaya, wisdom goddesses, is a most shocking form of Kali, Shinamasta. She is the divine feminine avatar, self decapitated and partaking of the blood that emerges from her throat. The name Shinamasta translates as beheaded. She signifies a powerful activation of the spiritual path through the confrontation of oppressive behaviors, self limiting attitudes, and intellectual dominance of intuition. The head is the symbol of the known, of thinking, of forms of authority. It is the head that wears the crown, the sign of status and power. Unrestrained by authority, she is able to overpower it. For our human selves, the head is the locus of control. So during a Shinamasta initiation, you will not understand what is happening and you won't know how everything is going to turn out. This is as it is meant to be and not something you need to worry about or fight against. Shinamasta is potent medicine for liberation. Her graphic iconography differentiates her from other forms of Kali that wear her favorite accoutrements of severed heads and skull garlands. Shinamasta's severance is of her own head. This represents self liberation. We do not need to wait for another to intervene. She shows the way to save ourselves, to move from inner courage and inner wisdom. Her presence can indicate a time when you must trust yourself completely without external support systems to rely on. The belief in constructs that once supported you will no longer be able to do so. Success cannot come from the tried and true paths of the past. You are evolving beyond that. It is time to rest in the void and allow for a new way to emerge. Despite the inherent violence in the image, Shinamasta is not dead. Blood is flowing. She is very much alive. No matter how severe the challenges you are encountering, no matter what you let go of which you once identified with or cherished, your life shall continue. You, the real you, which is not who you thought you were, is breaking free into more life, not less. Sometimes the old systems have to fall for the new order to be established. Things will never be the same because your real self is powerful enough to shed the false layers and radiate its inner beauty and wisdom more freely. Her partaking of blood symbolizes the capacity to be nourished and fed by change rather than devastated or destroyed by them. It is reassurance that at a deeper level, you are gaining something from the chaos and deconstruction in your being and your life. As you continue to move through the process of change, you will gain energy for something new. Shinamasta is self nourishing through the spiritually conscious application of destructive energy. Shinamasta shows us that transformation is not about trying to change others. It is about tackling our views, our fixed identities, and our attachments to power and status. Even if a situation is causing us pain and it appears to be under the control of another person, Shinamasta initiates us into using our spiritual power to free ourselves. Her teaching is that we have the means to become free within us. We do not need to control outer circumstances or other people. Within us is the energy we need to continue on our path. We can draw what we need from within. Chinnamasta leads us into deeper terrain where we can release tendencies to self sabotage through ignoring our intuition, truth, and needs. We have the power to get out of our own way. So, all right then. So that card was from the Kali Oracle by Alana Fairchild. It's slightly intense. Okay. It's no problem. It's just another Monday, my friends. Okay. So, um, Saturn is moving direct. That happened yesterday. 1010 portal yesterday. We have our marching orders, right? It's interesting that this card came through because for a really long time now, we've been moving through the message of dropping out of our heads and into our hearts, right? Right into here. And Chinnamasta isn't a very clear representation of what it looks like to do that, right? It's like, no, I'm going to cut my own head off because I no longer need those old ways of thinking jumping into the heart space. Okay. And what a day for this, because like we were just talking about Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day. It's a great example of you don't need to change the system to completely and wholly disagree with it. And it starts with us realizing that for the small things, the things that don't mean too much to us specifically in our lives, means a lot to the collective. Do you guys remember the channeling we did whenever it was of the grandmother that came through who talked about being stuck in two places because she has that, that part that was unhealed that's keeping her in a specific um, space? And we talked about lineage healing and how in order to heal your lineage, you don't need to go back there and connect with them. You need to connect with yourself in this now moment and heal you because you are pulling all of that energy through. That is really important to remember for this kind of stuff that comes up because it can make you really angry, right? You can get really angry when you think about the fact that our country is celebrating Columbus Day today, or that they tacked on the Indigenous Peoples Day on top of it. It can make you feel angry. But in order to do the healing, the anger isn't what heals. The anger is in a space to move from, it's something to feel. We don't act from anger because it's not a heart based emotion, it's a flare up, right? It's a flare up. So we don't do from flare ups, we feel them. And then after we've received what we need to receive from that feeling, we drop into our heart space. And that's where we create and we move from. So feel that anger, do not act from it. But what can you do for yourself now to shift that energy for you, to heal yourself in this present moment? Because this is where you do all the healing from right here in this moment, right now. So just remember that. I'm going to go ahead and mute this person because that's really irritating. Um, yeah, so wow, big energy for today. We're going a bit long because we haven't even started sensory card pulls yet, but I'm in no rush. The kids are still sleeping, so let's keep going. So we're going to jump out of this. If you want to tap into this Kali card again, become a BFF member on Inner Sanctum, and I'm going to be reading this again and also putting the exercise in the Coffee and Magic tab later today. So that'll be there for you. I'll send out a push notification. If you don't have my app, it's called Inner Sanctum. You can grab it on either the Google Play or the Apple Store, or just go to innersanctum.me, which is the best way to register. It's a free app, but you do have the option to upgrade to get more content. All right, we're jumping into we're jumping into the sensory card pulls. Today we are going to do what do you call it? I want to say atmospheres, but like places. You'll see. They're like places you can be. We'll see how I do with that. Okay, so the first one is a meadow. A meadow with like lots of beautiful wildflowers, open, expansive, gentle breeze moving in. The first one is a meadow. The second one is a beach. This beach has nice big rocks on it where you can sit and just gaze off into the ocean. The waves are crashing. Beach. And the third is like it's in the woods. It's like a path in the woods. And the petrichor is strong. It's really, really kind of damp and delicious in there. And the ground is super dark. And there's ferns and like gorgeous tree canopy up above. So it's the woods. Which one are you picking? Which one are you picking? Oh, or all three. Whichever one you're resonating most with, just kind of drop it in. Just kind of drop it in. So we've got the meadow, we've got the beach, and we've got the woods. The meadow, the beach, and the woods. If you're feeling all three, just say all three. And then pay attention to all of the messages that are coming through. But I do encourage you today, if at all possible, to narrow your focus to one place. And if you can do that, if you can pick one, just really feel into that space. Like, what does your beach look like? What does your woods look like? What does your meadow look like? Just really feel it because it's gorgeous for sensory understanding. And I will be shuffling these cards. Of course, today again we're pulling from the Wisdom of Avalon deck by Colette Baron Reed. It's one of my favorites. And if you're just joining us, you're choosing from one of three scapes, meadow, beach, or the woods. Ooh, okay. So if you chose a meadow, this first one is for you. We've got some different energy cards coming through, so that's good with this shift. So if you chose meadow, this is your reading. Take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. You have the horse, you have the partnership card, and you have the burden card. So again, this is for meadow, for those who chose meadow. So here's your story. Now, the horse is all about accepting help when you need help, delegating authority, just understanding that you don't have to do everything yourself. And in fact, now is not the time to prove that you can. The other thing about this is, for those of you who chose this card, it's probably likely that, like, up until this point, you have been doing everything yourself because you've been somewhat surrounded by people who are either purposely incompetent or just truly incompetent and can't keep up with you. So you feel like you just need to be carrying everybody. While you can do that, it doesn't allow your big energy to find its purpose because you're using it to hold other people up. That energy is supposed to be focused on what you're creating, not about holding everybody's hand. Okay. So, this energy coming in for you, meadow people, is that it's time, first of all, to surround yourself with people who you actually trust and think are capable. That's one. And then two, accept help when help is offered to you, right? This also is moving into the partnership card, which is doubling down on this as well. It's scary to partner with another person when you've had poor experiences through partnership with another person. Okay? Um, totally get it. However, it should be fine, right? If you've done the work already of removing people in your life who are not trustworthy. Imagine what it feels like to partner with a person who doesn't need you for everything, who doesn't pull at your energy, who doesn't lean on you to make all of the big decisions. There's a double edged sword here because when someone leans on you to make all of the decisions, you're used to making all of the decisions in a very unilateral way. So, this is a time where you're going to have to learn what it actually means to be in partnership with another person who is a full, complete person and is just as alpha as you are. People say that like big personalities can't work together, but that is untrue, especially when it comes to women working together. Big personalities and women need to work together and respect each other and learn to use their words and not their egos. And so, this is a huge thing for you right now because you're being asked to step into that arena as, the front line of showing us how that's done. So, just remember that. It's a bit of a burden, though, right? Because there is probably a part of you that just doesn't really want to do it, even though you do kind of want to do it, but that you just don't really want to, but you do. It's heavy because you don't have experience here, and that's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to feel heavy. It's okay not to know what's going to happen. In fact, we just read a freaking card that literally said your head's cut off and you don't get to know what's happening, but trust that it will come together for your best and highest good. That's kind of where we're at right now. Trust that it will come together for your best and highest good. Allow yourself to be assisted and make sure the people in your front circle are people who you would ask advice from, and who you believe have their shit together. You. They don't need you, they want you, and vice versa. Okay? So that is Meadow. Sorry, I'm so serious today. I'm not really sorry. It's a turn of phrase. It just is what it is this morning. All right. Next up, we have the beach. So if you use the beach card, this will be your message for today. You're kind of onto something, Jacinda, with that. You're tapping into a thing. Okay. So if you chose beach, this is going to be your card situation. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Okay. So if you chose, oh fuck, I didn't pick one. No, I picked the woods. That's what I would always pick. Petrichor is my jam. I picked the woods. Okay, so this is beach. This is beach. So if you chose beach, this is your message. You've got the birth and rebirth. You've got the risk, and you've got the mystery. There's like good news and bad news here. I'll do the bad news first. Bad news, like just like the other card was saying, the Kali card, there's not a whole lot for you to sink your teeth into right now and know. There's just nothing solid, and you are going to have to understand that it's a moment in time. It's going to feel like a long moment, but there is nothing to sink into because everything is becoming right now. When things are becoming, you can't anchor into them because they're becoming, right? So, birth and rebirth. This is you. This is you right now. You are being rebirthed right now. All of your systems are being upgraded right now. And when I say upgraded, I think I should use a different word. It's more like brought to their original settings, back to factory settings. You are being brought back to factory settings. You're getting rid of all of the programs you just don't use anymore, or they're outdated, or you just don't want, and you're starting again. And that's what's happening right now. You're being asked to trust in the mystery. which again, bleh, we hate that one, but it is what's happening. So it just is what it is. It all feels risky, but it's the choices we're making, right? And it's going to feel risky. That doesn't mean you stop. Don't stop in the middle of a factory reset. That won't be great. So if you chose beach, just trust. Trust, trust, trust. You are in the liminal space. You are becoming, you're being restored to factory settings, and shit's gonna pop off before you know it. So just take a few deep breaths and stop trying to figure everything out. Okay? That is the beach card. And of course, last is the woods. I think today is a good woods day. Okay. All right, you ready? This is the one I chose, so good luck to you all. Thank you. Oh, fuck. Okay. All right. Let me just. I'm sorry for this one. I feel like I do this. It's fine, everybody. All right. It's not just me. It's you guys too. I don't need to take all the responsibility for this. Okay. It's the woods. We have the goblin coming back. We need to look at this from, I'm hearing that we need to look at this from a different angle because the one we've been looking at it from is not clicking for people, myself included. So we need to look at this again. Okay. So the goblin in this deck, it literally says the wounded human ego. Here's what we're not understanding, I guess, about this. We are so intelligent and crafty that we have, in some ways, taken this goblin and however it's expressing for us in our lives and given it this role of being a very sanctimonious and necessary evil. We have to watch that. It's like that whole like lipstick on a pig analogy, I think. We have to stop dressing up shit and convincing ourselves that it's not shit. The goblin energy is still here because we are blocking ourselves big time. And it's because we're scared. That's all. It's a fear. It's like, well, if I don't have this, what will I do? I need to at least keep this part. You're being asked to let go of all the things and you're keeping a part because you've called it something else. You need to stop that. I need to stop it. We need to let it go. There's too much happening right now for us to be clinging to a ratty old blanket. And that's what we're doing. Just like, please, I just need to keep this one little part just in case, just in case. And it's like, no, you don't get to keep that because you're going to ruin everything. So ask yourself what it is that you are purposely not seeing and purposely not letting go because you just are too scared to do it. Be honest with yourself about what that is and figure out how that is manifesting for you in your life and what you want to do about it. It's your choice. There's other cards too. So we have the Earth Fairy and the Truth. Okay, so the Earth Fairy and the Truth. So the Truth is the part of this that is going to help us release this. You don't get to find this though if you are making up false scenarios or dressing things up in other outfits and calling them other things. So get down to what the core is, cut your own head off, right? Jump into your heart space. This is your BS detector. This connected to your solar plexus and then your gut. Nothing can make it through here without being detected for bullshit. Nothing. But a lot of times, what we do is we just run things through right here and pretend that we've completed the circuit, and we haven't. This can just take a break. Run everything through this. This is your trifecta right now until this kind of gets itself sorted. If you start using this part, heart, solar, and root sacral area, if you start using that part of your body as your bullshit detector, your head will reprogram itself much faster. And your body is going to be so much happier with you. This moves into the earth fairy, into the body stuff. Your body is communicating with you and wants to be an active participant in everything that's going on right now. So jump out of your head and listen. Listen to your body. It is talking to you. The truth is in here. The truth will set you free. Allow it to do that. I know it's scary, but this is the ride we're on now. And we're way too far into it to back out and get our tickets back. It's not something that's happening. So you might as well just do it. Might as well just do it. But I know it's hard and I get it. And I feel like we need to also have a lot of compassion and empathy for ourselves because sometimes it can be frustrating to kind of get these messages and like, well, I'm trying. And I know we are all doing amazing. And we need to kind of recognize that in ourselves and in others. We're all doing amazing. It's a lot right now. It's all the things. So this week, step back into your body and feel your own truth and make this be quiet. Just put it away for a minute. Okay. Let yourself hear what your body's saying. So if you pick the woods, that's you. Okay. Yay. All right. So that was our update. We went for like almost another hour. These are getting longer and longer. It's a lot today. Again, it's a lot. But when you get off of here, take some nice deep breaths and disconnect. Feel into your body, listen to yourself, and I will see you on Wednesday morning. That'll be my last live for this week. Depending on things, there very well may be a live channeling on Thursday. That could happen. If you haven't done the moon call from last week, the new moon call, still do it. It has a valuable meditation in there that you'll want to do. And for those of you who have already done it, look back at your door stuff and do that. Keep on with that, with the visioning. Okay? I love you. I hope you have an amazing Monday. I'm sending you so much good juju. Rest yourself, drink water. Mwah. Goodbye, everybody. All right. Goodbye, YouTube. Love you. And thank you.